Alrighty, guys, welcome back to the show. We have a cast on the cards for you guys today. I am joined by the lovely Willow's Duality himself. You guys might have seen we did a co-cast on his channel, and he has returned the favor and is doing a co-cast with me. Willow, would you like to say hi to everybody that watches my channel?
Hello there, you beautiful people, and you have chosen to subscribe to the correct channel. It is an amazing content creation place. I don't know why I decided to say amazing content, but yeah, here we are.
You flatter me. All right, let's go ahead and get into introducing the players. We'll call this team 1 over here on the left side of the screen, this team 2 over here on the right side of the screen. Starting in the northern position, we have Willow going UEF, opening first land. His opponent, or not his opponent, his teammate to the south is going to be Icy Nightmare. I believe he also is a subscriber to the channel. He is going UEF, opening first land. Down to his south, we're going to call him Sam, and he is going UEF, going first land as well. Lots of UEF for team number 1. Another UEF is Fong, going UEF, opening first land. That's going to be just kind of the template for today, it seems. And then last but not least, the only person that breaks the mold, we're going to call him Kitna, because I don't know how to pronounce that name. Sir Kitna, is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, that's what I would have gone with, is Sir Kitna.
Sir Kitna, all right.
Or I'd just call him Kitna, personally. Or
Kitna,
Sir.
let's go with that. Flipping over to team number 2, on the southern side, we have Grimplex going Cybran, opening first land, second air. To his north, we have Shimras going Cybran, opening first land, as yet undecided what his second factory is going to be. Moving to his north, we have, the one and only Willow's Duality.
It's
playing as
me!
Aeon, so I get to talk a bunch of crap about you during this game, right?
Oh, yes, do it. Point out every flaw.
And then we have Sheikah playing Cybran to the north of Willow, opening first land, second air. And last but not least in this game, we have a Paper Towel. He is playing as Aeon in the rear corner position, which I guess if there is an air position, that might be it. Although there isn't really a distinct air position, I think, necessarily in this map. Looking at kind of how everybody's spreading out. Map gen, this is played on the Neuroxis map generator. Not everybody gets a hydro. Your hydro might be far away. Willow, I think you were the host of this game, right?
Yes, I hosted this game, so I can explain a little bit more. MapGen, for people who don't know. It randomly generates a map using pre-built assets from very good map creators, and it's gotten a lot better over the past few months since it's released. And this particular map, as the Duelist wisely said, there's not necessarily a confirmed air position, but as this match progresses, we will see if players decide to focus on air, focus on ground, do whatever they're going to do. And since I did host this match, I do know that it was optimal balanced mirrored, so basically none of these slots were picked beforehand, everything was supposed to be mirrored, and it did a pretty good job, and we have a good game quality of 93%, a very well balanced game. And looking at this map overall, if you hold Control Shift, you can see that there is 40,000 reclaim, which is a ton. It's all focused towards the middle. This map is heavily encouraging players to just get into the middle and get into that reclaim field so that way they can get ahead. And I really like that type of design because it definitely pushes you towards being aggressive and actually fighting your opponent on a relatively large map. It's 20 by 20 kilometer, same as Settins. And yeah, just in general, I really liked this map out of the map gen. The only criticism I have is it's a little bit of a dark map, but it is good.
Yeah, well, it's easy on the eyes for us casters whenever we have to spend, a good amount of time looking at it. I'm also noticing, to those of you who are nautically inclined, you might have noticed that. Yeah, to those of you who are nautically inclined, you might have noticed that the reclaim looks like a ship steering wheel, which is kind of interesting. Funny how the map generator did that. We got some good scouting coming out from team number 1, getting a read on both Willow, and then it looks like Icy Nightmare is going to be taking his scout up to the north. We do have scouts as well out from Sheikah, so everybody's looking to get some scouting, get some intel on the enemy team. Grimplex is actually airlifting a bunch of engineers out to this forward mass extraction point. Already got some T1 units out there mopping up a couple of strikers and a forward kind of vanguard force there for Fong. Fong hosts a lot of these games as well, so he should be pretty practiced at dealing with the randomness that is the map gen.
A lot of dealing with the randomness of the map gen, in my personal experience so far, has been you just have to kind of go with the flow, and it's kind of like since you don't have a set build order for every map, what you have to do is you have to zoom out in the beginning while you're building your factory, decide what are you gonna do that match, and just stick with it, and that will give you the best chance for success on these types of maps. If you have a plan and your opponents do not have a plan for what they're gonna do in this match, you will be further ahead than they will, at least as far as planning is concerned, and maybe that'll give you an edge.
And it looks like Team 2 does have a pretty good plan here. Both Sheikah as well as Grimplex airlifting engineers out to the middle, dropping point defense, and then securing these forward 3 mass extractors. Going to get some forward production online as well. You can see Grimplex queuing up a series of factories there. Sheikah at the top had a little bit of contestation for his forward. I don't know if contestation is a word, but he was contested on his forward for his forward position. So looks like his engineers ended up getting mopped up, but he does have some spam coming from a northern position with adjacency to one of the few hydros on this map as well. And then a lot of spam coming in from Mellow. Mellow's got his comm up here as well.
So this match, while it does have Navy in the middle, of course it's not enough to be super impactful like it was in our last cast, but it does seem that most players have decided to go for the spam route. There's a lot of mass extractors on the field, and there's a lot of territory to cover, and everybody's just deciding to go for the same route of, I want a bunch of units and I want them now. So you're seeing almost everyone show up with at least 4, if not 8 factories, which is generally the kind of like the tipping point. I feel a lot of players go up to 8 factories and kind of sit there for a long time until they tech up.
Yeah, and 8 factories gives you good spam. We're seeing our first comm on comm action here though between Sheikah and Mellow here in the middle. Sheikah brought his comm out to defend this kind of forward position. We do have a Scorcher as well coming over the top and bombarding this T1 point defense that Sheikah has put up, so need to get some air cover in there, and Sheikah's right on it with a couple of Cyclones. Should be able to bring the bomber down, but he will lose both of his interceptors in the process. His spam then coming up from the south, and Mellow's not in a super dangerous position yet as his spam is nearby, but needs to be mindful of the fact that he's a little bit out here on his own. And, well, actually not out here on his own. It looks like Icy Nightmare's got a whole lot of spam. I take that back. Sheikah's out here on his own. Sheikah's the one that needs to be careful here. As Mellow begins to commit into the comm. Cyber and HP being a little bit lower than the UEF. And Mellow's going to redirect his spam as well to put additional pressure on Sheikah's comm here. See if Mellow kind of continues this chase. It looks like he's going to back off as Sheikah's spam comes in, but Sheikah's still getting 2v1'd here with Icy Nightmare coming in from the south. Never want to be 2v1'd. It's never a good feeling.
Yeah, and we can see something similar actually approaching on the southern side. It isn't necessarily a full 2v1, as there are units out from Shimras, but it is definitely a case of there are 3 comms within relatively close proximity of Grimplex, and Grimplex is all alone down here. Shimras's comm still in the base, so that is going to be a power, the kind of like a power vacuum. 3 comms always wins, no matter how much spam you have. It feels at the T1 phase, 3 comms can deal with so much spam on their own that you cannot physically outspam the amount of comms that are there. So Grimplex is going to have to play this very carefully, going to have to kind of find a way to stop the ever-present push, as we do see upgrades now coming on these comms and multiple comms pushing forward. It's going to be a little bit of a difficult hold for him, but we'll have to see if he can manage it.
Yeah, and manage it he does with some help coming in from Shimras himself. And I'm looking at Team 1 versus Team 2, and looking at you, you're not really doing anything to contribute to the spam right yet, but you are at T2. So Willow's advanced to T2, got his T2 HQ in his base, I believe. Yeah, in your base. Went for a couple of comm upgrades as well, and now deploying Obsidians into the field. against this spam coalition of Icy Nightmare as well as Mellow to help Sheikah out here a little bit. So looks like kind of the game plan for Team 1 was Sheikah just kind of hold the line for as long as you can. Willow's going to tech up, do as much as he, and then send in superior tech units. So 3 Obsidians on the field for Willow. It feels a little bit weird talking about you in the third person since we're actually on a call together, but I'm just going to roll with it. Looking at the south.
It's the same when you cast yourself, isn't it? It's the same when you cast yourself, isn't it? It's like you're sitting here like, what do I call myself? One thing I did want to really point out is I've not noticed it from Team 1 whatsoever, but we do have a player committing quite heavily to air. We haven't talked about him very much, but a paper towel up in the top right, currently working on Tech 3 air. And
yeah, that's a good point. That's going to come as a surprise.
Yeah, he could possibly look into getting up a bomber or something and just causing mass economic damage, or even just go for a snipe. With T3 air, you have the run of the field.
Yeah, and if you look at his mirror, so his mirror in this place would be Sir Kitna, and Sir Kitna has committed to kind of the T1 spam to put pressure on the southern border. And I mean, he's doing a good job with his gun comm moving in on Grimplex's position. Grimplex is going to be hard pressed here. He does not have... He has equal numbers of spam as probably one of these armies, but he's up against 2 comms, both of which have gun. Grimplex's comm as of yet unupgraded, and we have Sam's comm coming in from the north as well. So I mean, Team 2 should just be able to walk Grimplex down here and take him out. And that's, you see Fong kind of flirting with the idea of committing as Sir Kitna comes in and crushes all of these T1 factories belonging to Grimplex here on the front line. So that's going to be a lot of the forward production gone for Grimplex up at the front. Engineers trying to get point defense put together. They're going to end up going down. And I think that Team 1 commits here to take out Grimplex.
It does look like Sam is going to be having a bit of trouble, though. He's getting into a lot of this spam out from Grimplex, and now there's Corsairs coming in. I believe
it's true. We do have Corsairs, yeah.
Yeah, those Corsairs are going to be coming in. I don't see why they wouldn't be targeted onto Sam, so that would be dangerous if that does come straight for the comm. We'll have to see if he can manage to get away from it, though.
Yeah, but the Grimplex is going to go down either way.
Grimplex is a foregone conclusion.
Right. So right now it's whether or not Team 2 here can pick up a consolation prize in Sam, and I think that they're going to get it. I think that Sam, just to guarantee the kill, might almost want to... No, he's not going to need to control K his comm, but... So 1-for-1 trade right off the bat there, with Sam showing he was defeated by Control K, but I think he was actually taken out by Shimras as Corsair for Grimplex, which... if you look at things from a rating perspective, you're trading Sam who is a 1,000 rated player for Grimplex, who is a 1,700 rated player. And rating doesn't mean everything.
He just threw it in the chat. He just threw that in the chat, doing our casting for us, isn't he?
There we go. But full show seems to be on. So Willow, whenever you hosted this game, I'm sure Guile was really happy to hear all of the fairies dying. We do have a strap bomber out from a paper towel as well, just like you were talking about earlier. So with the strat, why don't you talk to me a little bit about what kind of damage you can do with an early strat? Obviously, you can do comm snipes, but you can do some other stuff, right?
So the most effective way, especially with full share on, to utilize a strat bomber, in my opinion, is either killing off power or mass extractors with the strat bomber. A strat bomber only takes, all strat bombers I believe is the case, only takes 3 strat bombs to kill off a T3 power generator, and that's very relevant if an opponent is going heavy into air and you get there first. But for any mechs that's not a T3 mechs, it's only 1 pass to kill them, and if you kill off a significant number of T2 mechs by simply using a strat bomber, I think it's 4, maybe 5, and you've paid off the cost of the strat bomber, and you've set your opponents back so far that they're never going to be able to get into the air game, especially if if there's one player each team going heavy into air. it's very difficult to deal with strat bombers killing off your mexes and such, because you need that mass and you need that power in order to build ASFs to deal with the strat. So a strat can be devastating. Here it does look like it was going more for the snipe over there, and now it's kind of heading back without really much of an idea of what's going on. But on another note, the northern flank seems to be changing in the way it was. Earlier it did look like Mellow and Icy Nightmare had it on lock, but it's much less so at the moment, I feel.
Yeah, well, the man himself has showed up with that chrono dampener sensor as well as gun range, right?
Yes, that is indeed what was on my comm.
Just double checking. I've actually never seen the chrono dampener. I know that everybody or I've seen it in action. I haven't actually seen the icon yet. So I know that everybody's picking that up more recently. Did that get buffed recently, or because I think it's been around for a while, or did people just figure it out recently?
I think people just figured it out recently. People didn't go for it beforehand because in base FA and in situations involving where you'd want chrono, you want chrono early for all of the land spam and such, but in base FAF, it's too expensive. You require multiple T2 P-gens, and by that time, you may as well have just thrown your mass into T2 units.
Right.
But at some point, they lowered the cost of it significantly. You can easily get it with, if you pause your factories, you can easily get chrono at like 15 to 20 T1 P-gens in a reasonable amount of time, like a minute and a half. So recently, a lot more players are going for it because you can see how powerful it is. No amount of spam will actually kill the comm as long as you have at least a couple units near you.
Yeah, and while we're talking about that, we're starting to see this chrono dampener kind of come into action here, as you can see this little EMP effect taking getting put on these units, and as you can see up here, that is an AoE, so you can shut down a lot of units with that chrono dampener effect. And they're going to be able to, team number 2 is going to be able to chase Mellow off of the front line here. Evicted from his fire base, Triads overrun. It's kind of coalition between Willow as well as Sheikah doing some pretty good work here. And Mellow needs to be careful with his comm, needs to move some of this spam up northward, because these Obsidians will pack a punch. And Willow's comm is still chasing, along with some 20 or so Mantis. Attempted shift G there to try and block the comm. Seems like it was partially successful, but the Obsidians have locked in on the comm. They go to work. 400 damage per shot coming out of those bad boys. Pretty good alpha strike damage for a T2 unit. But spam has arrived. Wow, that AoE chrono dampener is just absolutely disgusting.
It's so brutal, and there's the only good counter right now is T2 PD. It's the only counter that is effective enough to actually drive the comm away from you, and it's very oppressive to have it used against you. And your best hope is to also be Aeon and get it yourself. Is from me playing against it, that's what it feels like.
T1 bombers coming in to help. Obsidians working to finish the job. Overcharge getting thrown in. You're not going to let this guy get away, are you? Okay, no. All right. I was joking about the shit talking at the beginning, but I was about to whip it out there if you let that guy get away. Taking kind of a gander at what we're looking at here. Got a strap bomber out from Shimras as well. And Grimplex, or not Grimplex, I'm sorry. Sir Kitna has actually done a great job at pushing in here on the bottom side of the map, really threatening this expansion that Shimras inherited from Grimplex's eviction from the game. He does have a Revenant that is circling overhead. He's got a lot of forces to deal with, pushing on him from a lot of sides, with a combination of Fong as well as Sir Kitna's T1 and a little bit of T2 mixed in, pushing up through kind of the southern side of the map. Engineers are putting together Cerberus turrets to respond and that'll be able to mop up a lot of the T1 units on the southern side. Northern side, though, a little bit of a different story. We do have a couple of hoplites that are running around causing issues, but T1 radar is going to go down, and there is some artillery in this mix, so some of these T2 factories could be taken out as well. And looking at this air engagement up here, we do have wasps out from Fong. So T3 tech matched with a paper towel. Paper towel is batting down the wasps. I don't know about you, Willow, but my choice weapon against wasps is wasp killer or hornet killer. It's not really a paper towel. I don't know how you feel about that.
And generally, whenever I'm dealing with wasps, I use that raid spray. Not Shadow Legends, though.
Right. Not Shadow. Speaking of our sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. No.
They're desperate. They'll sponsor anybody. But yeah, overall, the airplay, that was some really bad turns taken by Paper Towel. But I think he has more production of ASF overall. So I'm not super worried, but he needs to start taking a little bit better air trades as far as not turning directly in the direction the ASFs want to go.
Yeah, exactly. And he just basically got kind of crushed in the middle of the map, and then Fong just kind of flew his ASFs over his base and took out the ones that were landed on the ground as well.
Of course, we have to take into account. Earlier, we were talking about ratings and how a 1000 was traded for a 1700. Rating, as we said, doesn't matter. There are players who are 1000 rated who are better than some 1800s because the 1800s play specific maps and specific things and are specialized. But as a general rule of thumb, that's the difference between a 600 microing ASFs and a 1400 microing ASFs. There's a lot of technique and little things that go on with air fights that are hard to catch on to that you have to learn through losing, really. Yeah,
I can speak from experience on that. I always wanted to play air whenever I first started because I was like, great, no, everybody will just leave me alone. I can do nothing but eco. And truth be told, there's a little bit more to it than that. I know that comes as a huge surprise to everybody watching this, but there's a little bit more to it than just ecoing.
Indeed there is. If you want to just eco, then play Navy.
That's it, right?
all you need with the Navy micro, while important, doesn't necessarily fully decide fights. If you just produce more stuff in Navy, you will win. Unlike air, where you can have less ASFs by a pretty significant margin, but if you micro it properly and your opponent doesn't, you can still win that fight.
Yeah, absolutely. With this air control, though, that Fong has grabbed for team number one, he has pushed out a broadsword. Broadsword did a little bit of harass the Willow's comm, ends up moving into Sheikah's territory, takes out T1 radar. There's another T1 radar actually just to the north, a little bit of redundancy there, but mops up some engineers, gonna pick up a T2 mix. Actually, this guy built 3 T1 radars in the range of span of 10 units or 20 units, something like that.
Paranoia.
So, lots of redundancy.
It wasn't paranoia. He was worried about units coming, and they came. Look, he wasn't paranoid. He was righteously. He had all the right to be that scared and to need those 3 radars.
Yeah, now he's sitting there laughing because, he's probably actually not laughing as a Titan has made its way into his base and actually crushed almost all of his power production. So he's not really laughing, but luckily a paper towel is there with his specters to lend a hand and take out the Titan before it does any more damage. Only 40 energy to his name though, with a hydro. So not really rolling in energy right now, really struggling for that energy production. And this northern flank is really starting to struggle here. Icy Nightmare has really done a great job capitalizing on the 2 bases that he has inherited, and you can see kind of the clear line of demarcation that he's drawn there, where team number 2 is really just unable to penetrate that. And he's sallying out with T3, highly mobile T3 forces like Titans to do some damage to the enemy bases. A couple of flapjacks as well coming up the middle from Fong. So Fong, smelling a little bit of weakness here, is going to start harassing Willow's forward production base, going to take out some power generators. Willow, though, is up to T3. We have Harbingers in the vicinity, as well as Willow's Comm. And this is largely a T2 army, so as long as we have enough Harbs here, as well as the Comm throwing overcharges, we should be able to mop this up. Also, Spectres coming in from the north from a paper towel. So, were you guys on comms for this game?
So the way the comms worked were, Icy was, so we were all on Discord, but Grimplex, me, and a paper towel were on the same team. Icy was on a separate team. We did separate. We weren't talking to each other throughout the match. But at this point, it's only me and a paper towel talking to each other with Grimplex yelling at us to play better.
Okay.
as 1800s do, or 1700s. He's only a 1700. Don't give him the glory of telling him he's an 1800. Love you, Grimplex.
1700.
Yeah. But
we've got.
I wanted to point out something really quick.
Okay.
So with the we zoomed out very early on and we looked at the reclaim on the map, and you can do so again. There's even more reclaim on the map now after everything's died. But Icy Nightmare, on top of doing very well by managing both the base he got and the base from Mellow and his own base, has also managed to top the charts in reclaim. Has currently sitting at 35,000 reclaim. The closest players to him are Fong and Shimras at 20,000-ish, and then we have a couple people at 10k and a paper towel at the of course a paper towel didn't really send out a bunch of units to reclaim. He's been sitting in space ecoing, but a paper towel only at 2.4 thousand reclaim this game.
Yeah, reclaim being very important. It's recycling, it's saving the earth, it's making sure that all the resources that are available to you get utilized. But Sheikah has gone for just mass T1 bomber spam, using those bombers just really is kind of base defense here. They're high alpha strike. Well, not really high alpha strike. They have low alpha strike, but there's a shitload of them, so it becomes high alpha strike to drive off these T3
It's high AoE
there.
though. It's high AoE.
Yeah.
He can hit 2 or 3 Titans with each pass, and it will eventually end up killing off Titans, which is always a plus. You know, Titan lives don't matter, but we all know the Harbingers is where it's at. That's all I'm trying to get at here. Harbingers are the best. And if you want to disagree with me, do it in the Duelist comments. I'll read them.
I'll disagree with you right here. I'm a Cybern fanboy, man. Brixton loyalists. But down at the bottom, we did have an experimental get created by Shimras. So we have a Monkey Lord marching his way towards the front lines, and Sir Kitna seems to be, as of yet, unaware. His comm is sitting on the front lines, looking at kind of his perspective and what he sees. He does not have a good radar read yet on that Monkey Lord. These scouts hovering overhead, only T1. They don't have the Omni of the spy planes. So we'll see if that actually catches him off guard there, and we could potentially get a scalp. Looks like he's going to be pairing this with a couple bricks, some loyalists, a couple of hoplites. Nice mixture of T1, T2, some range, some EMP, some high damage. And Sir Kitna needs to be a little bit worried here. Monkey Lord, of course, having that stealth field, right?
Yeah, the Monkey Lord, of course, having stealth, meaning radar is completely useless. Personal stealth, you would need Omni in order to get a radar signature, and at the point where you have Omni, you're not really worried about about Monkey Lords. Well, I mean, you are worried about Monkey Lords, but by the time it gets inside Omni range, you will already have vision on it, is what I was trying to say. And as far as it goes, Sir Kitna is extremely far forward just in general. Generally around by 20 minutes, you want to be pulling your comm back. You don't want to be on the front line still. It's just unnecessary risk being taken by him. And some players can make it work, but I generally am of the crowd of, hey, it's 20 minutes into the game, people have T3 and probably some experimentals coming soon. I'm going to go backwards.
Yeah, well, actually, I'm going to hold that thought because the Monkey Lord is actually on the move, and I don't think Sir Kitna has any idea what's coming towards him right now. He can see some of the spam, or not the spam, but the T2, T3 that's behind him, but you see that Monkey Lord start to open up on these Percivals that are kind of guarding his base here from Fong. Hang out from Sir Kitna, and the comm starts running. But as of yet, only a couple of PD here to actually stand in the way of the monkey, and that monkey will eventually run down the comm. What kind of help is there coming from? Does Fong have any gunships in the area? There is a broadsword here. I don't really know how much help there is, but it looks like Shimras is playing things a little bit safe here. Doesn't want to commit the monkey. I think he could have gotten a kill there, but then again, you kill off Sir Kitna, you get his comm, and then all of Sir Kitna's eco goes to either Icy or Fong because full share is on. So maybe a better idea to not commit the monkey, right? What do you think?
Yeah, and I have a little bit of FAF trivia, and I honestly think that this is the smarter play. Going straight for Sir Kitna's comm, sure, you may have killed it, but you're giving the opponent more time to respond to this, and sure, it's going to have plenty of time to respond to the Monkey Lord, but right now what he's doing is he's slowly going to be eroding this front line. It's not like he doesn't have a decent army with his Monkey Lord, so his Monkey Lord can get supported by the army, survive a lot longer, kill a lot more stuff. But I have an interesting bit of trivia for you. So,
okay.
Core to the design of FAF is that the ACU cannot run away from any unit. The ACU has the slowest movement speed in the game, but that's not true. There's one unit in the game that the ACU can outrun. What unit is it? And it's not a structure.
Well, okay. Fat Boy?
Nope.
Damn.
It's the Scathis. The Scathis is the only unit in the game with slower movement speed than a comm.
You said it's not a structure. That's a structure, man. That's not fair.
It can move. It's not a structure.
Yeah, but it's under the structures. Like, you don't build it from a fact. Well, I guess it's... No.
You build it from the experimentals tab.
You win this one, good sir.
Fun bit of trivia.
Large amounts of Titans, though, moving in from Icy Nightmare up at the top, run into a good deal of Spectres here from a paper towel. There are Skyboxers, though, in the mix. That's a disgusting
amount of Spectres.
There are Skyboxers in the mix. And those
there are. I didn't see those.
Yeah, those are going to make short work of it. Luckily, a paper towel is there with his ASFs to wrap up some of Icy Nightmare's ASFs, so taking the battles as he can win them. I think that a paper towel needs to switch up to restorers here. I don't think that Spectres are the play anymore. Because the enemy team has air control, they have flak, these Spectres are just getting picked out of the sky almost immediately.
I think he's going Spectres because they're cheaper and he's trying to build a GC.
Ah, well, yeah, that would explain it. GC under construction for a paper towel. A good number of his air factories on pause as well to help funnel mass into that.
Yeah, it's basically a race against the clock. If you can get the GC up in time, I think a GC can deal with that many Titans if given time. But most likely the Titans just run away from the GC. The Titans don't have the incredible DPS or the alpha strike that the Percival has to just straight up destroy a GC, and the GC will get vet very quickly off of this. So as the Titans rampage through Shimras's, or not Shimras, Shakaya's base, we're gonna be seeing them get towards the base of a paper towel, which is a dangerous perspective for Team 2.
Yeah, no, dude, I get nervous whenever I get to the base of a paper towel too. Means I have to go buy more, and I never have more.
Oh man, unfortunate. See, that's why you go with the pro strategy of just using leaves for everything. Anarcho primitive is I can't speak. Never mind. I give up.
Galactic
the
Colossus,
hard
I don't
words.
think that GC is going to be done though in time.
Do you think do you think sacrifice would make oh, he's actually sacrificing. I didn't actually know he did that.
Is he?
Yeah, he's sacrificed. Oh, wait, I'm ahead again. Well, he will be.
Okay. Yeah, so right now, Titan's crushing a paper towel's base. Engineers, lots of engineers dying there. His comm is running out the back. HQ under threat. Air grid under threat. Spectres doing what they can. Revenants over the top as well from Shimras doing what they can as well. But this is not looking good for a paper towel.
He's trying to run to the corner. He's like, "Don't hurt me, please. I'll leave you alone." As the Titans come up stealing his lunch money.
That's it. Yeah, he's just hoping that they can't see him or that he can't see them. He's like, if I can't see you, you can't see me, and you're seeing that kind of. If the Harbingers, it looks like he's kind of given up here.
If the Harbingers are fast enough, we might. Oh no, yeah, he's given up. The Harbingers were faster. They could have gotten there in time.
Yeah, Strat Bomber again doing what they can, but Paper Towel is going to be going down here. We'll take a few Titans with him, but you know, with full share being on, this is I think the way that you need to push whenever full share is on, because even though these buildings will be, you know, temporarily handed over to, yeah, I would imagine Shimras, they're going to get crushed almost immediately by the Titans.
The Titans are moving.
Where is Sheikah?
Where's what?
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, he's sitting kind of. Yeah, he's kind of just sitting out here with the breeze, just kind of doing his laser thing right now.
All right, we got a laser on the way. He has a microwave accelerator and the stealth gen right now, so grabbing that laser upgrade. So potential for a teleport, but
another Monkey Lord is finishing up for Shimras now.
Yep.
And it's going to be heading up towards the Titan spam, and it does look like the Titan spam got cleaned up by the base and units of Willow's Duality. Always weird to say my name in third person.
Yeah, you're talking like Bob Dole. Bob Dole actually won the election.
Bob Dole. Bob Dole does what Bob Dole wants.
That's actually a pretty close impression.
Yeah. We have a nuke in the base of Willow's Duality since we're over here looking at it.
Very astute observation, although you are cheating a little bit because you know what you were doing. Let's check. I do know what I was doing. Let's check the other team's bases. It doesn't look like Fong has SMD anywhere that I can see in any of his bases as of yet, including the one where his comm is. Sir Kitna doesn't appear to have SMD in his base either. Looking up at Icy Nightmare, not in his main base.
Does he have one in his fire base? Nope, he doesn't.
Yeah, so it doesn't look like we have SMD on team number 1. That's going to be problematic. Shimras finishes up another experimental.
A key thing, though, if you swap over to the view of Team 1, they haven't scouted it. They don't actually know that there is a nuke on the field.
Yeah, excellent point. So Team 1 is yet unaware that this is actually happening. They do have the radar signature, but it doesn't look like they have... It looks like they have radar on the buildings, but not the units. Oh, no, they have radar on the units. Never mind. So somebody who's paying very close attention could look at that and say something is assisting something there.
Yeah. So down to the south, we have a push coming out, I believe, from Shimras, and it's looking pretty dangerous. I want your opinion on, like, what does Team 1 need to do to kind of halt the bleeding over here, because these experimentals have just gone unanswered from Shimras. Like, they tried to get up a Fat Boy, but that got killed by Strat Bombers, so I'm just not sure what they need to do.
Yeah, so Fat Boy goes down. We do have the Megalith and the Monkey. I think that team 1 has, at least I thought, pretty serious air control with Icy Nightmare. So I think that Icy Nightmare needs to start working with Fong a little bit, and they need to get on the same page, throw out some broadswords, and then I think that both of these experimentals die to the broadswords, because going and checking ASF, just eyeballing it, it looks like Icy Nightmare is ahead with ASF at 85 versus Shimras 47. Yeah, so almost 2-1. So I think that they need to double down on that air advantage.
You have to take into account that all of the ASF from Paper Towel were handed over to Willow's Duality, so
that's a good point.
There's a decent chunk there.
That's a good point, yeah. So never mind. Team number 1 does not necessarily have an air advantage there. So I mean, I think at this point, if you've got experimentals pressuring down on you, I would mass T1 bombers here and then just crank out like 100 of them as fast as you can, and then just send them in. Yeah, they're going to die, but they're going to do a whole lot of damage on the way down.
Indeed.
The only reason I know that trick is because a guy that I was playing with did that to my Megalith, and it pissed me off. But this Megalith,
I think
Go ahead.
The worst way I've lost a Megalith, which was really sad, is I was walking it through Navy on Settins, and as it came out of the water, this was super late game, a dude control K'd 3 Zars on top of it and killed it.
Yeah, that's enough to ruin your day right there.
You're just sitting there like, I was like, well, maybe I can get something done before the Zars kill it. It has a lot of health, and then it comes out of the water, and immediately the donuts just fall on it and kill it.
Nuke launch, though, from Willow, vectoring in on Icy Nightmare's primary base. Doesn't appear to be any SMD, so that nuke is going to connect, and that's a lot of T3 power that's going to go down, as well as the T3 HQ. Ugh. It's disgusting.
That's 7 T3 power generators going down. Ooh, that's painful. But it doesn't solve the problem of Icy Nightmare having... How many Titans is that? That is 113 Titans.
Yeah, that is
that's way too many Titans.
Number.
How many Harbingers are there? Only 67 Harbingers.
The problem, though, with the Titans is, like, yeah, you got a lot of them, but they're operating at, like, half capacity because he has no power, so they don't have their shields.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
We do have a Thoda out from Cirkitna, though, getting lasered as well as shelled by this Megalith. Percival's support coming out from Fong.
He needs to stop running. At this point, it's forfeit. It's going to die. You just kill off the Monkey Lord with that.
Yeah, you either do that or you pull it back and control K it.
Well, that's also dangerous because Ion Storm.
Well, you pull it back to a safe area.
Pull it back to the main base right next to all the T3 power. That's what I do.
That's it. Yeah. I don't often control K Ethodus in my base, but when I do, I try to make sure that it's always next to 2-3 power.
Solid strategy. I don't see anything wrong.
Speaking of somebody who really wants power right now, Sheikah is still, I think, limping his way through either a teleporter upgrade or a laser upgrade at negative 13,000 power right now. Kind of in the middle of the field, but he can see the writing on the wall here. Icy Nightmare has started mobilizing and is very close to discovering where Sheikah has hidden his comm in plain sight. Willow has got a lot of harbs, though, to respond. And we will see how this actually ends up shaking out.
We can see Icy using some advanced tactics. He's splitting up like about a quarter of his Titans to head towards my production facilities as well. So I have to decide between trying to get this laser up or trying to defend my my production.
Well, I think you chose wrong, sir. I don't think that laser is going to help you. There is a monkey, though, in the vicinity, though, from Shimras. I told you I was going to shit talk you. I have no idea if it's the wrong choice or not.
I don't know still, and I played this match. I don't know which choice was the right one.
So Icy Nightmare finishes an experimental. Fat Boy moving its way towards the front as well. The Harbingers and the Titans begin kind of posturing against each other here. There are a good number of Skyboxers in the mix as well, so any air should get shot down relatively quickly, but Harbingers do trade relatively well with Titans, especially whenever the Titans are not able to bring all of their firepower to bear at once. But now Icy Nightmare realizes kind of his initial mistake, shifts all of his Titans over. We'll see how well the Harbingers hold up. I don't think that they're going to be able to repel that kind of firepower. Yeah, that's... Oh, but the laser comes in. Let's see how this goes. Things are getting spicy here, man. Harbingers are getting mopped up, but there are a lot of Titans to go through. There's a monkey back here, too. This could be a great mass donation for team number 2, as long as they can keep Sheikah and this monkey alive. Sheikah needs to stop lasering the ground.
Oh, wow, that's brutal.
Titans are getting in range here, though. Focus down the comm.
Is he gonna live?
No, he is Dunzo. That is Dunzo City right there.
There's been a really good response out from Shimras. The Titans that destroyed off half of my production facilities decided to head towards Shimras, and he is absolutely spamming whalers right now.
Yeah, and flipping to split screen here just to look at kind of the push on that's wrapping up here on the southern side of the map, as well as the Titans that are pushing into Willow's base. That Chrono is still doing work for Willow, being able to shut down a lot of these Titans. We also have a GC on the field for Willow, so that'll also mop up a lot of these Titans as well. And we got more Harps coming in, so that's going to stall out that push, and that's a great mass donation there for Willow. And meanwhile, on the southern side, we've got 2 crabs and a monkey. And going back to single screen here, pushing into Fong's, I believe, secondary base. I don't think that this was actually where he started. So hopefully he's got some redundant power up north. Yeah, his power is all up in his northern base.
That is Fong's main base. That's his starting base. The base up to the north was originally Sam's.
Okay, gotcha. But he just inherited all the power. So he will lose an HQ here and actually just gives everything over to Icy Nightmare right now. And was that a Control K?
Yeah, it was.
Just gave up? Man.
Yeah, that was a surprise to us too, and I don't know if it's said in chat, but I'm 99% sure that unit cap that hits. Oh, yep, it hits unit cap for Icy Nightmare. So he can't produce anything as of the moment.
Wow, so you guys didn't share unit cap in this game?
I thought I had that turned on, but apparently it didn't.
Stacking the odds in your favor, I see. Just what I would expect.
If I was stacking lobbies, I think I'd do a little bit better than this. I mean, it's not over by any means.
No, not at all. But these experimentals are bearing down on Cirkitna's base. And that I believe that is going to be Cirkitna's ejection here. Zooming out just to double check, make sure I'm not missing anything. I am watching things on the mini map as these experimentals push their way into Cirkitna's base here. And I don't think that there's anything Cirkitna can do here to save himself.
He was the first player to see the Monkey Lords, and he's gonna be the last, at least on the southern flank.
Yeah. Power gen's going down though. Ithota is halfway finished-ish, but Shimras doing a pretty good job of trying to make sure that all these mexes are cleaned up as well, so that nothing gets transferred over. That is going to be the ejection of Cirkitna from this match. So now we have a 2v1, and Icy Nightmare is once again going to be unit capped.
Well, I don't think so, because there's been a lot of things that have died between Cirkitna and Fong being ejected from the game. And in fact, it's been quite the turn, because in the this entire game, if you look at like the number of players alive for each side, it's kind of been the battle of players with bigger bases, such as Icy and Fong, who controlled very much of the map, versus just more players, because Team 2 has just kind of done a little bit better at not having their comms get killed. So there's always been a numbers advantage as far as players are concerned for Team 2, until right there where we had Circuitna, Fong, and Icy versus just Willow and Shimras. So that was the first point in the game where they had a player advantage, and they lost it.
Yeah. But this GC and the Harbs are running down this fat boy, as well as the T2 and T3 army here for Icy Nightmare. And the Harbs should be able to get in range here and focus down this fat boy. And the GC is backing them up. And that's going to be a rout there for Icy Nightmare. Probably going to lose his fat boy there as the GC ends up getting a lock on it. Lasers in. Brings it down. And that's going to be a little bit of collapse there.
We had a nuke go off in one of the bases, I believe.
We did, yeah. I think it went down in Fong's old base, or Sam's old base, sorry.
Both of their old bases. They both held it for a while.
Yeah. But huge air engagement here, and Icy really getting the drop there on Shimras. Shimras is benefiting a little bit from these whalers, helping augment his air forces, but Icy just had some beautiful turns there with his ASF, and really took it to Shimras there.
He also had beautiful turns against me. He killed off all those ASFs I was holding on to.
Yeah, and Icy Nightmare is going to get ejected. Still calm up here in this forward base. We were busy talking about the ASF battle. I didn't even realize Icy's calm was so far forward, but that is going to be the end of the replay. So fantastic game. I think it was very exciting to watch. I know that you kind of knew how it ended, but it was exciting for me because I had not seen it yet. But yeah, since you played the game, what were some of your takeaways from this game?
One of my big takeaways from this game was I should have gone T1 early on, I feel, instead of going for the T2 unit rush. I should have just done Chrono with T1 spam. I would have been able to support Sheikah a lot more, and Sheikah really needed the support on this flank, with both Mellow and Icy putting on a lot of pressure. And my overall takeaway is that Cyber and Experimentals are damn strong, because there was a lot of them built this game and they kind of carried it.
Yeah, well, I think Cyber benefits from both the cheapest and the most expensive experimental. So there's a lot of different routes that you can take their experimental chain, I think. Lots of good flexibility there.
As far as land experimentals go, aren't they the only one with 2 land experimentals? They have Megalith and Monkey, and everybody else only has 1. Such as Fatboy, GC, and Yathoda. So they're the only one with a real choice in what type of experimental they want to build on the ground front.
Yeah, that is true. That's a good point as well. Any last words before? Well, shouldn't have phrased it like that.
Yes, my last words were, "Oh fuck, I'm gonna die." Sorry, I don't know if I've been avoiding cursing because I don't know if you're okay with that on your channel or not.
Oh no, I curse on my channel. It's fine.
But yeah, no, my final words are just thank you all for watching. If you see this and you're not subscribed to The Duelist, hit the little red button. It's worth it. It's free. And you can even turn off notifications if that bothers you, but why would you? This man puts out the best FAF content. And other than that, yeah, if you want to find more of my content, you can check out Willow's Duality on YouTube. And you all are beautiful. And I had a lot of fun. Thank you for allowing me to do this GoCast with you, The Duelist.
Absolutely, man. There will be a link to Willow's channel down in the description. I think a lot of you guys that watch my channel also watch his channel. But if there is an outlier that doesn't watch his channel, he has a lot of great casts. He also does some really interesting videos on some other games as well, outside of Fortune Alliance Forever, that are also equally entertaining. So that's your cup of tea. Go check him out. The reason Willow and I have started doing a lot of this co-casting stuff, the video that went up on his channel and then this one that's going up on mine, is We will be co-casting and streaming a charity event in April. So some of this is a little bit of prep for that, but also we wanted to collaborate just because he and I both have kind of similar casting styles and figured that it would work well together. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this content. Like Willow said, subscribe for more. We got a lot more other than just casting on this channel relating to Forge Alliance Forever. And other than that, I will see you guys next time. Peace.
I have one more thing to add.
Oh, you do? Never mind. No peace for anybody. What's up?
Yeah. The one thing I wanted to add, we are co-casting Landfest. It's going to be April 17th around 5 p.m. Pacific time. Would love to see a bunch of you all there.
Yeah, great plug, because I actually forgot the actual date and the exact time. So thank you for.
I looked it up today because I had to make sure I didn't schedule something on that day.
Perfect. All right, now that we've gotten the date and time out, I can give you guys peace. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.